Good evening, YouTube. How are you guys doing tonight? Whew, it has been a day. It's actually been a couple days. We had a lot of storms come through yesterday, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So tonight, real quick, before I head off to run errands and take my son to youth group, wanted to get on here real quick and kind of just share with you what the Lord's put on my heart. So again, here in the DFW area, we've had a couple of days that have been tumultuous to say the least. One thing that God showed me with these storms, we went through a lot of different things in the past 24-hour period. And God showed me something through each one of those storms that we passed. So the first one, of course, I say, of course, woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning because the wind was blowing. Now, there's this thing in my house that if you've ever been in my house and it's windy, you hear it. There's a flapper on the fan in my bathroom that flaps, and it's such a loud, um, such a loud sound. It's almost like someone slamming a trash can shut. So at that, I was wide awake, obviously. So most of us in the middle of the storm, we turn the TV on and suddenly I'm watching all of the updates on whichever station's giving me the latest update, right? Um, and at the same time, I have my phone in my hand and I'm checking the weather apps on my phone. I think that's kind of like the norm is like you want to have as much information as possible. So, about an hour into this, while trying to get ready for work at the same time, I'm also trying to figure out if I should head out of the office as soon as possible and beat the storm and wait, or wait until it passes and drive in after the storm. And then add the dynamic of, do I wait to take my son to the bus stop and his friends, or, you know, do we just ride out? All of these things at the same time. So at the end of it all, the storm passes and I leave just on time. Now comes the next hurdle, right? Which is to take on traffic. The sky is one solid cloud and it's carrying rain, and it's letting that rain go on I-35 on my way into the office. But the funny thing is, an hour after I get to the office, the sky is clear and it's a blue sky up there. So that one cloud just went away. It wasn't, um, if it wasn't for like the traffic um, due to an overturned trailer on the highway, or the foam scattered from the construction behind our building, there'd be no indication that there was even a storm. Like that's how beautiful it was. The clouds moved, they dissipated, they were blown away after they released the rain that they were holding. So go on with my day. And the thing is, at the office, I have like it's just glass behind me. My back is to you know, the windows. So 4 hours ish later, it's early afternoon. I look outside my office window and it's hazy again, and there's dust everywhere. We were in the middle of a dust storm. Now, for those who might be watching, like in the panhandle where they get a lot, I'm talking about the Texas panhandle. They get a lot of dust storms out there, and I can't say you're used to it, but you know what I'm talking about. Well, we happened to have one yesterday in DFW. Um, the sky looked hazy and an orangey brown tinge to it. Um, at that moment, I was mesmerized by the clouds and the ever-changing sky. When I was in reflection yesterday afternoon as I was driving home, um, I felt like the Lord told me, "You're looking at the clouds in the sky, things that move, change, and dissipate. How about remember to look at that tree in your front yard? That tree that was planted 7 years ago, that tree was bent sideways and swaying in the storm yesterday. But in the storm, in the middle of all of that, it drank the water from the rain and it withstood the dirt of the wind and the dust in the dust storm, right? So even this morning, as the wind was still blowing, um, guess what? That tree was still there, moving, swaying, looking like it was almost dancing. And that's when I got the word that's found in Psalms 92, verse 12 through 14, that says, "The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. He shall grow up like a cedar in Lebanon. Those who are planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall bear fruit in old age. They shall be fresh and flourishing." We need to be like that tree. When the storms of life hit, we need to be like that tree and stand and sway, dance in the storm. Why does a tree not move or dissipate? Like it doesn't change. It doesn't just like that tree was planted. And because of the roots that are buried, whew, there's so much to unpack there. I will keep it light because I gotta go. But because of the roots, there is a life flowing through that tree, nourishment, and that provides growth. While there can be outside damage and change and even breaking a part of the tree off, the lifeline is intact. So there is life and there is growth. Tonight, my question is, when the storms of life come, when the wind tries and hits you blindsided, right? Because we don't know what's happening. Are you a cloud or are you a tree? All righty, guys, that is all I had for tonight. Just encouraging you to be a tree because there's life in that. We need rain. We need the storms to help strengthen us and keep us moving, right? But at the same time, we need to be planted. And the storms give us the opportunity to dance because dancing is a lot of fun. But at the same time, we need to stay planted in what God has for us. So tonight, guys, have a great night. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good one, guys. Bye.